based upon the, as I told you, biological, histological behavior, and not just the histological, the invasive behavior and the ploidies, the kind of genes they express. It is divided into type 1 and type 2. Okay. Now the characteristics, first of all, the unopposed estrogen. Whenever a tumor is estrogen dependent, it has a better prognosis, because then we know what to do. We know it is estrogen dependent, we can reduce the estrogen level of the body, we can give drugs which reduce estrogen, we know the risk factors, all the factors that increase estrogen are the risk factors for this type of type 1 carcinoma. So type 1 is unopposed estrogen present, this one is absent. Okay. So this one will be present, this one will be absent. The next thing is age. Now, when it comes in the menopausal age, obviously it becomes more high risk. So, post-menopause, when the average age is 60, is more risky as compared to the perimenopause, which is 50 years, which is type 1, which is less risky. Coming to the hyperplasia, endometrial hyperplasia, obviously because it is E2 dependent, so this will be present, right? It will be absent here. So, that is why it becomes more difficult to manage. So, that is why it has a poor prognosis. Coming to the tissue differentiation, very obvious, this will have a well differentiation, this will be a poor differentiation because the type 1 is much better. Okay. Now, coming to the myometrial invasion, this will be minimal. Now, we know that these are the bad ones, the type 2 is the bad one, it has a bad prognosis. So, obviously, the invasion of myometrium will be deeper in type 2 as compared to type 1. Histologically, you need to know that all the endometrioid cancers, that means the cancers which resemble the endometrial tissue, it is an endometrial cancer. So, if it resembles the parent tissue in grade 1 and grade 2, that is another classification. Grade 1 and grade 2 of the endometrial carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, are type 1. Okay. So, this is a endometrioid adenocarcinoma, not grade 3, only grade 1 and grade 2. Okay. The papillary carcinoma, the serous and the clear cell carcinoma, and the adenocarcinoma, that is the endometrioid carcinoma, grade 3 will come in type 2. Okay. So, you have to remember the names: papillary serous, clear cell, and endometrioid, that is adeno, grade 3. These 3 will be managed in a very different way when we come and in the next lecture when we talk about the stage wise management. Okay. Then coming to the weight. The weight in here will be an obese patient. Why? Because it is estrogen dependent. Any patient who is obese will have more estrogen in her, that is PCOS patients or any hyperestrogenic condition, follicular cyst, endometriosis, fibroid, these patients will be, they will tend to be obese. These will be the thinner ones, the other ones, the type 2 will be the thinner ones. So, the thin patients, old, above 60, not dependent on estrogen, and the type of carcinoma being papillary and adenocarcinoma grade 3 and clear cell carcinoma are the type 2 ones. Okay. Now, coming to the race, this is just something you have to mug up. The white race has type 1 generally, and the black race has generally the type 2. So, they are more prone to, if you actually think about fibroids, the black race has more fibroids. So, it does not go with the system. Black race is supposed to have more estrogen because more fat around the hips, and probably they have more estrogen that makes them prone for fibroid. But it is not going here. It is just the opposite. The black race are the thinner ones, and they are the ones not estrogen dependent. They are the one having type 2. Okay. So, it is just the opposite of fibroids. Then what are the other characteristics? Ploidy. The ploidy status obviously will be aneuploid. Anything which is A, whether it is atypical, as I told you in the endometrial hyperplasia, or it is aneuploid, that means it is going bizarre.